With Anker being one of the biggest mobile battery charging companies, they certainly offer a wide range of charging products.
Correct. Absolutely 100% factual.
In my opinion, Anker has always offered high quality and usually long-lasting devices. So in this review, I wanted to check out their whole lineup of magnetic power banks for the iPhone and see which one of their latest ones is the best to get. So stay tuned. What's up everyone, and welcome back to Tech Up. In this video, I'll pretty much be going over all the new Anker magnetic power banks that you can get for your iPhone. As requested, many of you wanted to see a comparison review on these power banks based off the community poll I posted. So I'll be going over the design, features, and specs of them, and talk about the grip with them on, and go over how well they magnetically hold in place when using them. After that, I'll go over how much they charge an iPhone 14 Pro Max, since that's the phone that I'll be using, and I'll also compare the battery performance to the Apple battery pack. And in the end, I'll let you know which one I personally think is the best to get. But before I go over all of that, here's what you'd be getting when buying these Anker power banks. As you can see, all of them will come with a USB Type-C cable to charge them, along with a power bank. Besides that, the usual manual will also be included. Now, going straight into the power banks, the designs of all of them differ from one another. However, most of these have that same matte plastic finish on the back, except the Anker 622 Mag Go, but all of them offer a soft, cushiony side where the power bank would magnetically get attached to your iPhone. Aside from the build quality, the design of these power banks are completely different, with the Anker 622 Mag Go featuring a foldable stand that can be used to place your iPhone in portrait or landscape mode when using it, while the Anker 622 pop socket version offers a pop socket instead of the foldable stand. As for the Anker 621, it's essentially the Anker 622 without any features, and it packs a slightly slimmer design. Lastly, the 633 is the beefiest power bank out of all of these, with a nice kickstand and a bigger battery that I'll get into in just a bit. Moreover, all of these magnetic power banks will feature USB Type-C ports and battery light indicators to show you how much battery is on it. The only Anker power bank that packs more ports is the 633, since it also has an additional USB-A port due to it offering more battery capacity than the rest. And speaking of the battery capacity on these power banks, here are the specs for all of them to give you an idea on what each is going to be like. And obviously not all of them are going to be the same with battery performance, but they all pack pass-through charging, so you'll be able to charge these power banks while also charging your iPhone at the same time. Now, some of you may be wondering, will these Anker magnetic power banks charge an iPhone older than an iPhone 12? And the answer unfortunately is no, since Anker designed these power banks for only the iPhone 12 models and higher. So if you're still using that iPhone 11 or 8, then it won't work for it. Plus, some of these power banks aren't ideal for the newer iPhone mini models, as they could be relatively big for them. Lastly, most of them offer 7.5 watts of wireless charging and 12 watts of wired charging when using them, with the exception of the Anker 633, which offers even more with wired charging. On top of that, you can't charge two devices simultaneously on most of these, except the Anker 633, where you will be able to charge not only two, but three devices at once. As for the rest of them, you'll only be able to charge one device wirelessly or wired. Now, in terms of the grip on these, all of them are very similar with their matte plastic finish. To me, the Anker 621 felt like a regular power bank with its grip, while the Anker 622 offered a little more grip with its cushiony and grippier foldable back, while the 622 pop socket was hands down the best when it came down to having the most secure grip when using it with your iPhone. Without a doubt, it was the best to hold, but I wish Anker made the pop socket more adjustable, and I'll get into that later when I cover my overall thoughts on these at the end of the video. As for the Anker 633, it's obviously the biggest and thickest one, and it may be a concern when gripping it compared to the rest, but that kickstand could help when using it. As for the magnetic strength on these power banks, they're pretty good when using them with a MagSafe case, and they held up great to the shake test besides the Anker 633 due to its weight, but it could be a concern when using them with just your iPhone. If you're one of those people, you're a menace to your iPhone, but it will still hold on. However, it will have a tendency to fall off more easily. Now, when it came down to the battery performance of these Anker power banks, they definitely perform better than many others out there, like the Apple battery pack, when it came down to wireless charging. I performed these tests right when my iPhone 14 Pro Max hit 20%, and during these tests, I used my iPhone very minimally, and this is what I got. The Anker 621 did pretty well, just like the others, with the first 30% charge, but after 50%, it started to charge my iPhone really slowly compared to the Anker 622 Powerbanks and the 633. The reason why the 621 got a slower charge after 50 is because the rated capacity is smaller than the 622 batteries, and that was certainly a factor. As for the 633, it obviously packed the most amount of battery and offered even more of a charge compared to the rest. Lastly, being an Anker 622 mag owner, I gotta say that since my last review on it, and being able to compare more power banks since then, the 622 and all the other ones in this review do get really warm. Initially, I didn't notice that at first when I got my hands on it, but now testing all of them out, they do get warmer when compared to other power banks in my other reviews. For some of you out there, they could be a hot battery pack to own, however, I didn't burn my hands in these tests. So, obviously, they weren't but it can vary from person to person on whether they're hot or not. All in all, Anker has a lot of options here with its newer variety of power banks, and it will come down to you in seeing which one is the right fit. But I hope you got something out of this comparison review. From my perspective, if you're someone who doesn't mind the additional features, but you just want a very slim 5K power bank, then the 621 could be an option. However, if you want that much needed grip on a 5K power bank, then the 622 pop socket could be the one to get. But personally, I wish with this version, Anker could have made the pop socket more adjustable by giving you the ability to move it up and down on the back of the power bank and lock it in place so you could place your iPhone vertically on it instead of just viewing it horizontally. If they did that, it would have been probably better than the regular 622 Mag Go with its foldable stand. Speaking of this power bank, it's an ideal battery that I've been using since last year, and I love it for its useful foldable stand. However, if you're someone who's looking for the ultimate and biggest power bank of them all from Anker, then the 633 is where it's at. If I were to say which one I think is the best, it's a hard decision. If you're looking for something slim and practical to charge your iPhone for a long day or a short trip, then the Anker 622 is perfect in my opinion. But if you're looking to go on a big trip and utilize it as a source for not only charging your iPhone, but possibly other devices while also having similar features of the 622, then the 633 is a perfect choice. To me, the 633 is the ultimate functional power bank to get from Anker, hands down. But for some, that thickness and weight may be a concern. Anyways, let me know which one you'd plan on getting if you're interested. If you do have one in mind that you'd like to get, check out the links to them down in the description below, and I've also listed the pricing for each of them. But if Anker isn't the magnetic power bank brand that you're looking for, I do have other power bank reviews up in the top right and across my channel, so go check those out. As always guys, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you back here for another one.